I want to start the comparison with my mother, as she has changed stuff with the pass of time. For example, in this picture, when she was younger, she used a single piece dress and a little bit of accessories. Maybe sometimes a woman suit, but that's all. On this other picture, she's using a coat, uh, some jeans, and a couple of sneakers. And all. My dad hasn't changed a lot. Uh, in this picture, she's using a sweater and kind of a denim pants. And also in this picture, he's using a shirt, an upper shirt, and some blue denim pants. Like in this other picture, where he's using some shirt and something. But he also, like me, uses leather jackets. He uses t-shirts sometimes. He also uses polo shirts, jeans, and call it boots or sneakers. And that's basically what I wear also, whether it be, for example, a shirt and a leather jacket, some jeans and some sneakers, or something like this. That it's something like a shirt and a coat for just staying warm and being comfortable. So there are not many differences, but it's kind they are kind of remarkable, and they show us of how a style changed with the pass of the years and with the pass of the generations. Also, I can tell you some advice, like for example, in your fashion, trying to look consistent, to use a good combination of colors, whatever. You can take that in consideration, but the point of of of, uh, of dressing and having a style is that you like what you look in the mirror when you do it. So my advice is wear what you want to dress. Look as you want to look, and and try to look like you want to be look by yourself, not by anyone else, and don't do not attend to any fashion, because the best style that you can get in your outfit is the one you create based on your personality and in your likes. For example, you can the most simple thing that you can wear is a shirt, some jeans, and some sneakers, and that's pretty alright, because you have to uh, just look fine, and 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 also feel comfortable on what you're wearing, and feel comfortable with this when you are doing your daily activities, for example, outdoors. So it's not as much as attending to some advices, or to some to some style specifically, but only in creating your style to be unique and to feel comfortable with what you are wearing. So is the only word of advice I can give, and uh, it's the main one I can give it to somebody. Well, this is kind of goofy. We have here Mark, who is wearing the same glasses of Tom, but the only difference is that Tom's sunglasses are more expensive, are Dolce and Gabbana. So what is the difference if they look exactly the same? For one part, have it doesn't have to bother Mark, because in real life, when you're wearing the same thing as some other people, it doesn't bother you normally. It is kind of cool, actually. You it 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 could make you happy, and also uh, make you stick to that person in some kind of shenanigan, as like I do. For example, I have a similar style to my best friend, who also uses leather jackets and coats, so it's pretty normal. And uh, and trying to be critical in some point is that you don't have to be very complicated with your style, and also especially not spending too much money. For example, uh, most of my of the clothes I use are from gifts from my family or my friends, and also clothes that my brother doesn't use anymore. So I use them now. Uh, this coat I is one that I use since kind of 5 years ago, and it still looks good. So it doesn't really matter that you spend money at the end of the day. So don't don't think this way. Don't think that you have to spend a lot of money. Just a bit, not too much, and don't let nobody change your style, and and just guide by your likes for deciding what you want to wear and how you want to look. I made this survey to 5 people with these 3 questions. How do you spend your money? Do you save money? If you do, how many money do you save? And what are you going to do with your savings? So 4 of these 5 people save their money. Only one does not. Um, Most of these people are saving for very specific things. For specifically, 3 of these 4 people have a specific purpose for these savings, and also I can say that most of these people spend their money, income, and savings on food, clothes, gifts, and also on technology. And some other times they spend it on other things. But it's mostly on these 4 things. But I want to say that they are more used to spend it on food, on clothes, and also on their friends, call it in outings or in gifts. So there is some data we can get, and we can use for getting a conclusion, and that I can also support because I spend the money also on these things. Advertising has evolved enough to create innovative strategies based on the social behaviors and the common needs, but also has evolved in order to be more visual and more creative, but also more aggressive. For example, if they're saying they're selling this skin product, they tell to women that they are pretty. Women are pretty, but aging is something that is very complicated to them, and that's why they could need this product to fight this aging, in order to looking better that you could look in a couple of years. Uh, Subliminally, you don't realize that it's something aggressive, but when you analyze it, you could realize that they are saying that you are aging bad, you need this product. It's not always like that, but it's pretty common in advertising nowadays, and that's why I mean about the thing of the advertising being so aggressive, actually. And it's a pretty good strategy. You could tell it's not as moral as you could like, but it works pretty well. It will probably keep growing in the years to come, and this aggressive attitude to certain products, but also it is also mostly pretty sympathizing, and as they attend to the people needs with sensibility, and with a lot of creative work. So we have these 2 elements that focus on advertising, and that's how I I talk and explain how has evolved advertising in the last years. So I'm just back from 2050, and I want to sum down some important things I saw about the fashion. I won't say the gender is totally dead, but it's very important that it is now. I have seen a lot of men wearing skirts and women wearing men outfits, like for example, wearing a tank top and some jeans and some boots. But nonetheless, they look pretty good because now people are more open-minded and more liberal, so they don't care that much about the gender or beliefs about how they have to look. I have seen some really risky outfits in the future because people don't care so much about what other people will think about them, and it's because this is how we are now, more risky and open-minded. Even there are pretty few cultural differences between communities. I mean, I have seen a lot of black people looking like white people, and white people looking as black people in order of what they wear, and also more fresh attitudes, more innovative ideas. When I talk to them, they are more respectful and also more kind of more of dreamers. I have to say, and it kind of reflects on their fashion, on the colors they use. They use pretty risky color palettes that look also pretty good, and it is mostly because of how we have evolved in the past few years, like in the past 2 years, for example, and it will keep evolving like that, and we probably in 10 or 15 years we will start to see these kind of things. First, couple of men wearing skirts probably, but it was pretty interesting. I had to write it down, make a sum, and speak it with my friends because it was a lot of stuff. But anyways, this is what I wanted to share, and that's all I think about fashion in 2050. What should be the fashion? No social gaps, 100% tolerance, and a lot of respect between each other. And some kind of a united world that fight together against the problems that it mostly affects the most the weakest people, and also a lot of tolerance between people, no matter what they think, no matter what they look, no matter where they live or what language they speak. One world that works together to improve. That should be the fashion. There should be a slogan. A united world for just one proposal, making the world a better planet to live in, with a lot of tolerance, with good habits, uh, with a lot of urbanity, tolerance, as I have and as I have said it like 5 times, and I will say it 5 more times: tolerance, 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 tolerance. We need that, especially in Colombia. We need a lot of tolerance in Colombia, and that should be the fashion. No more political fights, and no more fight between which president is better, or which political we should follow. Just follow our hearts, but also joining each other to fight for a better Colombia and to work for a better world. That should be the that should be the fashion, in my opinion. And I'm sorry if I made it long, but that that is these are my thoughts, and I had to share them properly, trying to speak with the deepest within the deepest of my heart. So that's what I think, and that the fashion I want to create in a couple of years from now on.